LEGO has made a bunch of really accurate LEGO Star Wars minifigures, but they've also made some pretty inaccurate ones. Aldarbedo was a classic LEGO Star Wars minifigure which released in 2000, and it has to be one of the most cursed and inaccurate minifigures ever made. It looks nothing like the character, and I have no idea why LEGO approved this design. You might not know this, but Grand Admiral Thrawn is actually a really inaccurate minifigure. This minifigure was included in the Phantom 2 set which released in 2017, and since then it's gone up massively in value. As cool as this minifigure is, not many people realise that it features the wrong ranking marks on the torso. You might say it's a small detail, but it's an important one, and I'm glad LEGO was able to fix this for 2024. In 2020, LEGO released the Duel on Mustafar set, which included new minifigures of Anakin Skywalker and Obi-Wan Kenobi. These minifigures were unique because they each had burn marks on the torso, specifically representing Anakin and Obi-Wan's duel at the end of Revenge of the Sith. However, LEGO decided to reuse these minifigures in the Anakin's Jedi Interceptor and General Grievous's Starfighter sets, which released later that year. This was totally inaccurate since those sets were based off much earlier in the film. It might seem like a small detail, but believe me, LEGO fans were not happy about it. Since 2020, LEGO has released a bunch of clone troopers we've never seen in LEGO before, like Phase 2 Commander Cody, 187th Legion clone troopers, and ARC Trooper 5s. However, some of these have been more accurate than others. Captain Vaughn was featured in the 332nd Clone Trooper Battle Pack, and it's possibly the most inaccurate LEGO Clone Trooper ever made. LEGO reused every element of the generic 332nd Clone Trooper minifigure except the torso, and they used a plain orange visor which looks totally inaccurate. Commander Fox was released in the Coruscant Republic gunship set, and this minifigure had some pretty obvious inaccuracies as well. These included the torso looking pink rather than white, and an ugly printed waist cape. Even though it's cool that LEGO made this minifigure, it could have been so much better. I think the 25th anniversary ARC Trooper 5's minifigure is actually really good overall, but some people have claimed that the helmet design is inaccurate. Personally, I don't think it's a massive issue, but if you compare LEGO's helmet to the source material, you can definitely see the problems. I think Saw Gerrera is a fantastic minifigure, especially to celebrate 25 years of LEGO Star Wars, but a lot of people have pointed out that the minifigure looks much greener than Saw Gerrera's outfit did in Rogue One. I don't think it's a massive issue, but it's worth mentioning. Recently, LEGO has made quite a strange change to some of their LEGO Star Wars minifigure designs, removing the pupils from the eyes of certain minifigures. These include Emperor Palpatine from the Death Star Throne Room diorama, Darth Maul from the Sith Infiltrator set, and Hera Syndulla and Ezra Bridger based off the Ahsoka series. The last time I checked, all of these characters have pupils, so I don't know why LEGO's removed them. When Boba Fett returned in The Mandalorian Season 2, I was so excited to see a LEGO minifigure showing his brand new armor. LEGO released this minifigure in the Boba Fett Starship set in 2021, but a lot of people pointed out that Boba Fett's armor was totally the wrong shade of green. In fact, LEGO clearly knew this and edited it to look more accurate in its advertising. Aside from the colouring, it's actually a really cool minifigure, and it's a shame LEGO couldn't make it perfect. The Armourer was a brand new character who appeared in The Mandalorian with a really cool armor design, and a lot of people were really excited to see her in LEGO. Unfortunately, it was a bit of a letdown. Instead of creating a new and accurate helmet mold for the character, LEGO decided to reuse the helmet mold they created for Gar Saxon. Not only are the horns in the helmet massively oversized, but there's also only 4 horns instead of 5. For me, the most inaccurate LEGO Star Wars minifigure of 2023 has to be Jacen Syndulla from the Ghost and Phantom 2 set. Jacen clearly has green hair in both Rebels and Ahsoka, but for some reason LEGO decided to give him a brown hairpiece in the set. To be fair to LEGO, it's possible they were given inaccurate concept art for Ahsoka, but it's still a very inaccurate minifigure.